Hey guys, welcome back to another Talking Mods, a little bit different. So today we're actually going to be talking with a fellow enthusiast and someone that I want to introduce to you guys. He actually works here at ModBargains, so maybe there's a little bit of bias, but he has been modifying for a very long time before he even started working here. He's been a customer here. He is a guy who modifies his car intensely, and I'm going to let him talk about that. So I hope you guys like this new segment. Please let me know what you guys think. This is going to be a different type of segment that we'll be doing on the show from time to time. And we'll start off with CJ here and tell us how you started modifying, what got you into it, and what cars have you been modifying?
Yeah, so I started modifying cars maybe 20 years ago. I basically fell in love with the E36 BMW. It's kind of the car I grew up with. Purchased the first one when I was in high school, and I just kind of fell in love with the whole scene. Yeah. So I started going to meets and shows, and eventually bought an E36 M3. And within the next 5 years, I had supercharged the thing. I got bored of that, so then did one of the turbo builds. I think I was like the 5th or 6th person to turbo the E36. So
which turbo did you use?
It was the Technique Tuning turbo kit.
Very cool.
So yeah, it was fun, man. Like I loved that car.
That car.
It was man. I'm actually really sad.
Have you seen the prices on it now?
Yes, I know. I sold mine I think 4 years ago,
yeah.
And I ended up selling it for like 12,000 or something stupid. And now I'm like kicking myself. I should have hung on to it.
Right.
But the issue was, the car was pretty much undrivable on the street at that point,
Right.
Especially with all the laws in California and smog. I just kind of got sick of dealing with it. So I just kind of sat in my garage, and then, during that time, I got into Volkswagen, so I purchased a 2003 20th anniversary edition, and then, kind of went mild to medium on that one.
Yeah.
And then eventually got an MK6 GTI.
What does mild to medium mean for you?
For me? That basically means just, upgraded turbo, intercooler, wastegate, stuff like that. Minimal interior stuff, like not like forged wheels, but like maybe like a flow form on it. Like nothing, still like the daily driver. Didn't want to get as crazy as my M3, but yeah, then I sold that car, got the MK6, kind of went the same mild to medium, wheel suspension, interior stuff, turbo parts. Not too crazy. Some might call it crazy, but I call it mild to medium.
Right.
And then
they haven't seen your latest project, so the audience has not seen it. We'll show it in a second.
So the Tesla, originally, I didn't want any part of Tesla.
You had the MK6 and then it went to Tesla?
Yes. So I had the M3, I had the yellow GTI, and then I had the MK6. And the main reason was, I was like, hey, let me try something. I just want a commuter car. Maybe I'm going to build up the GTI. Well, that lasted like a week. I started modding it the first weekend I had it, and I got hooked. I took it as an opportunity to be like, this is a brand new car. No one's really done anything to it yet.
Yeah.
And back when I had my M3, that kind of hurt me. Like, everyone's already done stuff. You go to the show with like a, older car, the new stuff's out, all the attention's on the new stuff. Yeah. I'm like, all right, let's take this opportunity to be like the first to do, as much as we could do. Let's go full build on it, right? So that was kind of the goal from like week one when I got the car.
Right.
And then, 3.5, 4 years later, you see where it is now. It's already been through 3 different wraps, 3 different suspension setups, 2 different sets of wheels, full interior makeover 3 times. So it's
consistently changing.
Consistently changing, yeah.
So yeah, this is the Tesla Model 3. You've basically modified. Is there any component that has not been modified in this vehicle besides the battery, probably?
Probably besides the battery, yeah. I actually updated the module on it. So there's a company that makes an upgrade where you could upgrade your dual motor to a performance. So I recently put that in. And
hopefully we'll have it at ModBargains.
Yes, hopefully we'll have it at ModBargains soon.
And you guys can get that. And it would be legal since it's not emissions.
It's totally legal. The install takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You just plug it in, run through the setup, and you basically have performance.
It's like, what, about 150 horsepower?
It adds about 150 horsepower, yeah.
Very cool.
Plus you get more options. You can put it in drift mode. You could do hard resets from the app. Like, it's totally cool, totally worth it.
Are guys drifting Teslas right now?
Yes, there's definitely a crowd that drifts Teslas. Wow. and jumps them.
Wow.
I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, okay. Very nice.
But yeah. Tesla scene is actually pretty awesome. Like the people in there are really chill, really cool. You know, it's kind of divided up. You got the people that just want to keep their car stock, and then you got the people that really want to mod it.
Right.
And you see kind of a mixture of those at the meets. But once you go to the shows, I mean, there's there's a couple crews in Southern California, you know, heavily modified Teslas. So there's a good scene. And you know, you go to a show these days, a big show, you're going to see about 20 to 30 fully modded Teslas.
Yeah.
And it's continuing to grow and grow and grow. So, I mean, the scene's awesome. The the scene is finally like accepting the car, right? Like, you know, 2 years ago, you just, you know, people would just hate on it and all that. But now you're kind of starting to see a lot more love towards it.
So, different question, I guess. So you've been modifying, especially this Tesla, different vehicles across. So what do you think some of like the problem areas? Because like we try to educate, you know, we try to educate everybody who's modifying, even the guys who really know their stuff. We still run into things, right? Even I will find new things that happen. The other day we did a Corvette install, and I found out a whole new issue that most people were not aware of. What are some of the major pitfalls, like the big general ones that you've seen, you know?
Well, I'd say the biggest one I've always seen, and I get it, people message me all the time about it, is they get the 12-volt battery error. Yeah. And that's like the most annoying thing in the world. Mine pops up maybe twice a month. I've gone through 3 batteries, and I've even upgraded to a new lithium battery, which holds for about 2 months, and you get the error. So I think it's just a flaw in Tesla's system where your battery is actually fine. It just, there's like some sort of voltage increase, and it just triggers the computer. Yeah. And it prompts you to like contact Tesla service, but really you don't need to do that. All you have to do is just unplug it.
The Model S has that problem too.
Yeah. So I think it's just a Tesla thing in general. Like they don't expect you to hook anything up to it at all. Yeah.
We're working right now with, I don't know, actually you're not even aware of it yet. We're working with Braille, so we're going to be seeing what happens with them. I haven't made the announcement even, but this I guess would be the first time I make that announcement. So hopefully I'll be doing a follow-up on that, so that will be a whole different video. But that specific issue and finding quality batteries and why a quality battery, it's kind of one of those untalked about parts of the industry. There's a lot of parts in the industry that people don't talk about. Any other ones that people, or that you've seen and learned from?
Well, I mean, I guess back to the battery, Tesla, on the new 22s, they introduced the 16-volt system. So it's a totally different battery, a lithium-ion 16-volt system. The problem with that is, for people who are trying to mod it, there's nowhere to tap any power. So you have to like find ways, like you have to either drill out a post in it or stuff that's bad, right? That's bad. If you take it in, they're going to be like, what the hell did you do? Yeah. So I wish there was kind of better solutions there, like especially on the newer cars. You know, you guys might see a new 22 that come in and you're going to be like, what the hell kind of battery is this? Where do I tap power from? Right. So there's just kind of things like that. I wish that they would think of the people that actually modify the car. Yeah. Maybe just leave like a power tap somewhere, you know. So
when you take your Tesla Model 3 into service, what's the reaction like? Have you even taken it into service?
I have not taken it into service, no. Oh, okay. I had a mobile service once. There was a recall on one of the charging pins, so they sent a guy out and he looked at the car and he was just like, don't ever bring this into the service center ever. So just he kind of gave me a fair warning. He's like, I'm cool, I'll touch your car, but if you take it in, and this is like not all shops, some shops are cool, some will, but others, it just depends on the service manager.
It always depends on the service person. I always talk about that. I mean, there's a law that protects all people who modify. Yep. The Magnuson-Moss law. But the Magnuson-Moss law. But the thing is, you know, it really comes down to how cool are they? Are they willing to work with you? Because if they're not, I'm sure you've seen this with the BMWs in the past or Volkswagen, they can make life very difficult. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, we'll find out. I mean, luckily, I've had 0 issues with the car. Yeah. It went 52,000 miles now. Cool. And I've had 0 issues. Like, awesome. The most maintenance you do on the car, besides like tires, is like wiper fluid and maybe an air filter, and that's it. So that's the cool thing that I enjoy, because, you know, I was changing oil and spark plugs on my other cars like every 3,000, you know, depending on what I'm doing, and it's just, you know.
So you build, so I talk about sometimes performance and there's sometimes show cars. Your car is more of a show car, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the stuff that you've put into it. Obviously you put air suspension in. You want to talk about some of that? Because The car doesn't come with air suspension. Airlift just released theirs. Give me your opinion. I mean, we're excited by the Airlift because there's finally a full kit.
Right.
But you've been building it before that even existed, right? So a lot of people don't understand that. What you're doing is you're piecing items together and making it happen. Now for a lot of people, having a complete kit is a lot better and easier.
Yep. Absolutely.
For someone seasoned as yourself, putting together a kit, what do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, when I first did it, I mean, like kind of just talking this with my buddies like a while ago, like I think I was number 10 and maybe number 2 all-wheel drive as far as bagging the Model 3.
Yeah.
But back then there was no option. You couldn't just buy an Airlift kit that came with everything. You kind of had to piece stuff together.
Yeah.
And the first struts that I got, they were the only ones out for all-wheel drive. I could guarantee you they were never tested on a car. They just rushed to get a kit out. They were horrible.
Yeah.
They were on my car for maybe 3 months before I was sick and tired of bouncing around. And like, this is like one of my first experiences with air suspension, like actually driving it. So I'm like, I hate this. This is horrible. And then, you know, just kind of talking through the scene, talking to a lot of buddies I know, they're like, you're just on the wrong struts. I promise you, it should not be like that. Ride in my car, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This feels like way better than stock. It's super smooth. So I eventually upgraded to that. And then as far as like my tank and my management,
What are you using?
So I have universal air for my struts.
Yeah.
And then my tank is an AccuAir tank.
Got it.
And my
AccuAir's no longer around, right?
Oh, they are now. Yeah, they're back now.
They're re-back. Okay.
Yeah, they're back.
They just came back. They got bought. Okay.
So the tank that I have actually has the compressor inside of the tank.
Okay, yeah.
Right? They don't make that anymore. That's been discontinued for various reasons. The pumps fail.
Well, if you need to fix something, the whole thing has to go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but for me, in a Tesla, I love it because it's dead silent.
Yeah.
So for me, like if I had to do everything over again, I would probably pick the exact same components that I did.
Right.
So I have Airlift for my management. It's the 3H system with the height sensors.
Best management
out there. AccuAir tank. I love it.
Yeah.
It's super quiet, and you don't have to put compressors. So
unfortunately, not around anymore.
He's not around anymore. So
these
if you could find one on eBay or whatever, I'd say buy it, but it's going to be like $4,000.
Yeah.
So
if not, the price will continue to go up because everyone's trying to get one. So.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Airlift's a great kit.
Awesome.
I've ridden in cars with Airlift. The comfort on it is amazing. I like how it's just, you know, everything's included. The tank, the compressors, the management, everything is right there. Struts. It's a complete bolt-on.
And you have the advantages of when you go to the car show, you can drop it.
Exactly.
And when you're in situations, I'm sure you lift it at times.
So that's a big thing for me is when I select my struts, I want to make sure that they go as high as they go low.
Right.
I like to off-road my car on dirt roads to get cool pictures places, and I could raise my car about 5-inch wheel gap with my setup. I mean, there's others out there that I've seen that they barely go 2-3 fingers. So that's kind of the difference in quality. I mean, you're gonna pay more for the better struts, but in my opinion, it's 100% worth it.
That's what you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
You get quality, and you're probably. I mean, you drive your car all the time, so you enjoy your drive as well. It's comfortable. You said more comfortable. Than stock.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is there's a lot of these companies that come out first to market, and then they kind of dominate. And then there's the guys who are like yourself or even myself on here. I'm trying to tell people, hey, maybe pay attention to this product line because it's going to be better. So like on the coilover side, right, now we have Öhlins finally coming in. And if you don't know, and you know Öhlins, Ferrari, top end suspension. I'm super excited. It's not out yet. It comes out, end of June, July, and there's a very limited run. That will probably sell out right away. But they'll be bringing in more. You know, KW, it took them 3 years, 4 years to get, or 3 years to get the Model 3 out. And phenomenal system. Like, you know, yes, they take their time because they're spending the time in engineering. So I feel like the same thing happened here with the Airlift and with yourself when you're going through all these trials and errors. And that's kind of what I meant with all the pitfalls. You go through these trials and errors and figuring out what works best. And I think that's what's great about yourself and people who follow you. Welcome to follow his Instagram. You can see the different builds. I mean, you've wrapped your car, 3 times?
Yeah, it's the third time.
Third time. And this is a brand new wrap, new color that's never been done before, right?
Yeah, it's one of the new colorways from TinyBot. My car's the first roll that it's been on. So.
The headlights do different colors.
Yeah.
You've got a new body kit from Adro, who we have on our website. So brand new body kit. Car's completely changed. If you've ever followed this same car, it's completely changed year over year.
Yeah.
So you're going through different trials and figuring out what you like best, or you want to just change it up. I mean, I'm going to let you speak and tell us what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I think because my cars kind of look somewhat the same for 2 years, and it's like I just felt like I want a total refresh. Stuff gets stale for me after a while, so I just kind of want to refresh it. And if I have the resources and time to do it, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
and it's fun. It's a hobby too.
Yeah.
So like that's like I'm you'll find me in the garage if you're at my house. I'll be working on some sort of project or doing something. So
how many hours did you spend this last month working in the garage?
I clocked it. It was 103 hours over the course of about 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks. So
Your wife must have been
very
happy with you.
Yeah, she was thrilled.
Yeah.
Especially because the garage was a disaster every day when she would come home. So, but yeah, no, she's a trooper. She's fully supportive of it.
Very nice.
So.
Very cool. And the wheels and tires, you touched on that. So we have the HRE wheels, right? It's the 540s.
Yep.
Yep, the classics, forged, and we have the tires. And you want to talk about that, the fitment and so forth?
Yeah, so I mean the wheels and tires of the HRE 540s. The fitment I was going for was kind of like, not really the tucked look. It was kind of more like the lip defender look, although I could probably space it out a little bit more in the rear.
Yeah.
But given that it's my only car and it's my daily driver, I kind of went, with what it looks like now. But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I love those wheels. Like I've been a fan of that style for 20 years. I remember I wanted to get them on my my BMW, but I was like, yeah, I can't afford these. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Our abilities, our financial abilities change over time, right?
Yeah.
You start off at a certain point and you continue to change. And
Yeah.
I'm sure in 10 years from now, things will continue to change for you.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Yeah.
So, and obviously we did those.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been, following ModBargains and, buying from you guys since my BMW days, back when you were doing, group buys out of
Right.
who knows where. So
It was out of here, still in Southern California, but yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I've been following you guys forever, and then took the opportunity to buy wheels and tires here, and I love getting my stuff put on here just because of all the equipment you guys have here. You have like the best of the best stuff for wheels and tires. I don't trust anyone with I've heard horror stories at just local shops that people go to, people getting their wheels scratched.
Yeah.
Just stuff they're not experienced because they don't work on modified cars. So again, that's the reason why I come here, is because
I appreciate
you
it.
guys
You're
are
also an employee now, but yeah, I appreciate that.
This is
Thank
before
you.
I was an employee.
Yeah, I know. So CJ, like you attend a lot of car shows, right? I think last year you won a bunch of them, wherever there were car shows. Now that COVID's finally kind of ending, there's a lot more car shows. I know we were going to be attending HRE events. Yourself was going to be there. So anybody who is in the San Diego area, there's going to be an HRE open house where you can tour HRE's facilities, their manufacturing. CJ will be there. The vehicle will be there. It is crazy modified, and I'm sure we've had clips of it as we are talking, going across for you guys. But you guys are welcome to come see it in other vehicles. Any other major shows coming up that you want to?
Yeah, so I mean, this weekend we have Arc Movement in Anaheim. Spocom's coming up in July. There's a local car scene in Temecula, which is a pretty big show, next month.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple more over the summer. But yeah, I mean, I go to as many as I can, and yeah,
Feel free to just walk up to CJ, say hello. The whole point is that, when you get into car modifying, it's also this community. There's more to it than just, oh, I've done it, and I mean, you do enjoy the vehicle immensely, but there is a community. It is a lot of fun, and I do want to promote that, as that's why I'm bringing it up. And then if anyone wants to walk up to me during the show, please say hi. I would love it. I'm sure CJ would love it as well. Happy to show you the vehicle and talk about car modifications, what we've done, and so forth. Guys, hope you like this segment. Put the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out. And guys, I will see you on the next Talking Mods.